What's going on, guys? It's Caleb, and today in the shop we have a Subaru Ascent that is in for a full inside and out detail. So we're going to be focusing on doing the interior as well as the exterior with this car instead of doing a paint correction. You know, a lot of my videos recently are all paint corrections, and that's usually the most of what I do. But you know, it's been a while since I've actually pulled out the camera for a standard inside and out type detail and uploaded a video to put to the regular detail playlist I have over here on the channel and stuff. So I figured this would be a nice little change of scenery for everyone because it's very straightforward, and in my opinion, when you have a loving mother that is driving this as well as it being her mobile office, you mix a kid and work together, it makes a messy vehicle, and it should come out really nice. So I'm really excited to share this one with you guys because it ended up turning into a very, very nice car afterwards, which it should. It's a newer vehicle, right? It's just a little bit of stuff that gets mixed in between your daily life that makes a car dirty, and it's my job to make it clean. So sit back, relax, we're going to get these wheels cleaned first and move on from there. So at a glance, you could definitely tell this thing is in dire need of a wash, and of course it does. It's Florida, it's the rainy season, it's hot, it's dirty, it's very easy for a car to get dirty just by driving down the road this time of year. So before we do anything, we need to go ahead and do a very thorough pre-rinse to make sure there's no standing dirt on the surface, because later on when we go to wash this thing, we definitely don't want to introduce any extra swirls or scratching just by leaving some dirt on the paint. So the one thing I do whenever I do pre-rinses, as you can see, I'm spraying the paint to try to visually see if there's any hydrophobic properties on it. What that's going to tell me is if there's any protection on this vehicle, and with the way the water is acting on the hood and stuff, I could definitely tell there is no protection on this vehicle, which I aim to fix that later on, and this is exactly why I check. During the pre-rinse phase, I also try to assess whatever kind of bug guts and stuff are on the front bumpers, and there's a couple ways I go at it. So one way you can do it is by using a very powerful cleaner such as Meguiars D101 all-purpose cleaner or some sort of degreaser. Just spray it on wherever you see bugs and stuff and just let it soak in for a little bit. The rule here is just don't let it dry on the paint. You can also use Ston'er's tar and sap remover. This is actually a very, very good product for getting rid of bug guts because it kind of acts very similar to tar and sap and whatnot that really sticks to your paint. No matter what product you use. You just don't want it to dry, and you want it to sit on there and soak and have the ability to eat away at whatever is on the bumper. I personally prefer to use the Ston'er's tar and sap remover because it really eats away a lot stronger than any kind of all-purpose cleaner or degreaser. And I know that's going to sound biased because I am sponsored by them. Shameless plug, check the description below for a link. But sponsorship aside, that's why I add another product along with their product just in case you wanted to try something else. I'm trying to be as fair as possible here. Ston'er's does make amazing products, so if you are interested, check below. So if you saw the way I edited up this footage here of me foaming down the vehicle, it was kind of in parts, and the reason for that is because this time of year in my driveway there is little to no shade, and in order to manage everything and not let products dry on the paint, I did it in segments. For example, around the time of me doing this detail right here, it's about 2 p.m. or so, which means the driver's side is going to be somewhat shaded in regards to where the sun is located. So I did that side first, and then I went to the front, I went to the passenger side, the rear, and so on and so forth. It just made it a lot easier to micromanage that. Now the way I wash a vehicle that isn't going to be receiving any kind of polish afterwards is pretty straightforward, but the most important step of it all before any hand touches paint is foam down the car again. The foam's going to provide two things for you. One, it's going to stop anything from flash drying quicker than it otherwise would, and two, most importantly, it's going to provide lubrication, because the wash phase, as many people might not know, it's actually the #1 time you can put scratches and swirls into your paint, and having lubrication to prevent that is going to be key. And if you want to get extra nerdy with it, you can actually wash from the top down of the car, because the contamination at the roof of your vehicle is going to be drastically different than what's at the bottom. And interior cleaning is not something we do very often here on the channel, but with this one, I just had to whip the camera out and keep it going for you guys. Now, if you're listening to me earlier, I talked about how there is a loving child that is in this car quite often, and the owner of it as well uses it as a mobile office. So you combine those two things, you get quite a messy car pretty quick. Now, by no means is this interior as absurd as some of the crap I've seen on other YouTube channels for detailing, and I'm very happy it's not, because this one was actually pretty straightforward. We focused on using a vacuum to get everything nice and cleaned up, and we actually used it a few times throughout the detail just to keep everything clean. I also like to use the vacuum matched with a Detail Factory little micro soft bristle brush to go through all the hardscapes like the screen and all that stuff, just to get everything dust off and clean as well. Following that, I like to use P&S Express Interior Cleaner with a boar's hair detail brush to get a really nice deep clean on things like the seats and the center console and stuff. But overall, I'm going to let you guys sit back, relax, and watch through the interior. I did speed it up a bit just because they're very long clips. And here in just about a minute or so, I'll blip in just to give you guys a little tip on things such as screens and anything that's really glossy on the interior. I'll tell you what I do to make it look nice. Now for glossy bits on the interior as well as screens, well, not plastic screens, but like the glass structured screens like you see here, is actually using either Obsessed Garage's drying aid or beadmaker. Now, not all quick detailers or spray waxes and stuff are going to work on this. Please don't use those. Use something such as beadmaker or OG drying aid, because those sort of things are going to kind of make their own coating on top of whatever the heck it is you're touching, and it's just going to add gloss. It's going to give it a little bit of protection, and the biggest thing too, especially with like the screen, it's going to make it very, very soft to the the touch. Throughout me making videos on YouTube, I've lightly touched on the idea that little things you do throughout a detail can make a big difference in the end, and this is one of those things. You might look at it and go, oh, I could do that, but I don't feel like it, they didn't pay for this, and no, like this is one of those things that take me 2 minutes, it doesn't really cost me anything, and what does it do? It boosts the aesthetics of the interior and makes it look really nice and clean, and for something like the radio, this is something that the owner is going to be touching all the time, and the fact that they will touch this and it will be soft to the touch, it's just, little extra added things that really do make a difference. After dressing up the interior with some Meguiars hyper dressing to give it UV protection and to revive the look a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get the glass cleaned. What I like to do with that is use invisible glass from Ston'ers as well as a waffle weave towel of some sort. The waffle weave is a game changer. I'm telling you, if you guys are out there doing glass and you're not cleaning it with a waffle weave towel, you got to change it up, because this is what really makes it streak free and awesome, matched with a good product of course. And after the glass is all clean, I'm looking at getting some protection on this paint. We're going to be using Adams Polish's ceramic boost for this. Usually whenever it comes to putting on some sort of simple paint protection, I love using Griot's 3-in-1 ceramic. I just dropped my water. Usually I like to use Griot's Garage's 3-in-1 ceramic spray wax, but for this one I decided to change it up a bit just because this is actually an awesome product too, and I don't think I've ever used it on its own on camera. It's very simple. It's pretty much a ceramic spray coating that you can apply to paint. You just spray it on the paint, wipe it, flip the towel, wipe it off, and you have upwards of 6 months of protection with a bunch of gloss and then the hydrophobic properties of ceramic. And a lot of times you see products like this and carpro reload and stuff being used to replenish a ceramic coating, which it most certainly can, but if some people don't know, now you know, you can use it on its own. And to wrap things up, I went ahead and wiped down the paint with some beadmaker, applied some tire dressing, and we were good to go. This video kind of turned into a how to detail and maintain your car, and I didn't mean it to, but I was just enjoying myself so much editing up this video, and it kind of turned out that way. You know, I used to only make videos kind of similar to what you're seeing here instead of just the paint corrections, so it was kind of fun to dabble about and edit and explain everything, and you know, it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoyed it, please help me out and show me by leaving a like on the video, and if you like car content, go ahead and press subscribe and ring that bell to know every single time I upload a video. If you're interested in any products I use, I got a small list down below. It's not the whole thing, but if you go to my website ccdetailingco.com, I should here soon have a full-blown list of everything I have going on. Anyways guys, that's all I got for you, so I gotta go to sleep. It's currently like almost midnight. My bedtime's usually at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I got a rally I gotta go on, so I will see you all in the next one. See ya!